burning, bursting into flames, and is falling on the morning beds, and all the folks between it. This is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. Oh, it's like 400 or 500 feet into the sky, and it's a terrific crash, ladies and gentlemen. The smoke and the flames now, and the flame is crashing to the ground, not quite to the mooring mast. All the humanity and all the men.
So, because we're a parasite, we want some of them juicy views and watch hours. Again, we're talking about Nick Rekieta, which, so, quick rundown. Nick Rekieta, the law pope himself, and, has his own practice in Minnesota or some fucking place. He covered the Rittenhouse trial, he covered the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff, he even covered the Kenosha Parade massacre driver guy, and he's made his career in presenting to be this trad conservative gentleman, but he's had a drinking problem for some time, has had orgies with another man's wife, a real swingers party with cocaine, guns, and these guns were inexplicably just under the bed, not secured in a safe, so he, when the police first showed up, he denied their search warrant, threw it on the ground, they busted in the door, and of course it all started from there, and of course his noble nose guard are saying it's some big Joe Biden CIA conspiracy, and that they're just out to get him because he's this trad conservative guy with 5 kids, and all of this is all bullshit. Well, it can't be, because, you know, again, to recap the story, we have a pastor mentioning his kids, complaining of being hungry, of being stinky. You have parents of the same homeschooling group saying the same thing, where the kids are asking for food, and you have the sister-in-law, Rekieta's wife's sister, the sister, even mentioning it and calling it in. So there's concern, multiple parties here expressing concern and evidence that the children have in fact been neglected, not getting proper amounts of food, of smelling. So regardless of that, it can't be some grand conspiracy that all these people, a pastor, and even someone related by marriage, would just make this shit up because that doggone Nick Rekieta's just making so much fucking money, right? That they're just so envious and hatred that they would make up a charge and have the police go out there and carry out this raid, this no-knock raid, right? This grand conspiracy on behalf of Joe Biden, the Central Intelligence Agency. No. This is a man who screwed up, and of course, speaking of screwing up, he has also has been convicted of 2 traffic incidents which he failed to appear and contest in court. In the 2024 incident that took place during his 6-month coke binge, Nick Rekieta was driving with expired tags, no driver's license, and no proof of insurance. So this to me just screams of a silver spoon guy who's never had to really answer for anything, and even his current life, he's been surrounded by yes men and people and grifters who want to be, in fact, his nose guard for a chance of that e-fame, that e-grift dollars. And of course, they're blaming everyone, even the kids. So Nick Rekieta is very fortunate that he has quite a plethora of nose guard simps, stands, defending his honor to the point, to the brutal end. And they're hoping that somehow he'll beat the charges and he will shine his fortune and fame upon all his little nose guardians there. And you have even the likes of Godwinson backing in his corner and saying that this is some big grand conspiracy. No, this is a guy who likes his booger sugar, who likes having swingers parties, and likes having loaded guns just laying about so kids could find him. So everything about this is just people calling out this guy bullshit. For a guy who's pretending to be this traditional Catholic, you know, Mr. Right stuff all the time, when behind closed doors, he's been kind of a backwater degenerate. So that's why people are calling out. That's why people are so fascinated. That's why people like me are making jokes, because this is a guy who's been untouchable for years. Like, you couldn't criticize him, you couldn't have any opinions. This is a guy who's also attached his wagon to Dax and Vito. that's enough there. If you're in the circle, you know what kind of moral character Dax and Vito has. So of course this has led to the nose guard saying shit like, "Oh, whatever, here we go." Right? It's saying that it's all. Let me translate for you. It's all Kiwifarms and that fucking that Isom guy. What's it? Where's the name? Escapes me. Eric July. There we go. It's all Eric July, and he's puppeting the pastor. He's the Phantom Menace, apparently orchestrating things behind scenes with the pastor, the sister-in-law, and those dang Kiwi farmers that forced that they took Nick Ricaida's nose and shoved it in a bowl of cocaine and just really, did that and forced him to have sex with another man's wife at gunpoint, right? It's all just at Kiwifarms. They were in there with ninja masks. That's the cope and theory they're going with. I shit you not, and it's absurd. The levels of just Alex Jones horseshit they're coming up with to defend this guy's honor is absurd. When at the end of the day, we should just look at it and say, this guy put substance abuse and philandering above the security and decent, living quality of life over his children. And that's what people are pointing out. It's what people are saying. That's why people are moral fagging, because God forbid that people should express the concern of the most innocent beings in this world as children, and even more innocent to God. And God forbid people should be concerned about the well-being of children. Oh, even though they're trying to blame a man's coke habit, swinging, and child endangerment on the 16-year-old eldest. They're saying, well, what's this kid doing this whole time? Oh, 16-year-old should be picking up the weight. picking up the weight after the parents are swinging, doing cocaine, illicit other drug use. Okay. So, of course, the most recent thing is Minnesota law supposedly has this thing to where you can change the venue, you can change the judge just once. And because this judge is also officiating on a civil case, he's also officiating the criminal case. So Nick Rekieta really thought he had an ace up his sleeve, so he played that card. He played that trump card to switch the judge. And he got switched to a guy who's like this no tolerance having, steel-balled fuck that hates drug use and drug use. He's been putting out hefty sentences against drug users and drug dealers. So I don't think it fares quite well. And I will say this in the nose guard, do have a point here. The justice system, and this judge is going to make an example out of Nick Rekieta for this. And because there's kids involved, neglect, endangerment, and probably other things involved, and they're going to crucify Nick Rekieta. So he's probably going to be getting some jail time out of this, I think. But then again, who knows? With Nick's nose and his elite, lawfare mentality, maybe he can wiggle his way out of it. But I don't think that's the case. And in closing, and in all reality, no one here is really applauding. We're laughing at guy's downfall, who just thought he was king shit upon Dick Mountain for the longest time, where he made fun of people's lives and made fun of the dirt and everyone else's lives, whether it be Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Rittenhouse, and all these other instances. The guy's reveled in the downfall of other people, and now he's stepped in it himself, and everyone's calling him out on it, justifiably so. But there's a group of people again out there, these guys it's just defending his honor every way, which way possible, coming up with vast conspiracy theories and in hopes for more clout. And even my goblin ass talking about this and giving my opinion is kind of doing similar like-minded things. I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to edge in here on the metrics and watch hours at minimum. So it's a big topic, and he should be held accountable, and he's to the same standard he's held everyone else to over his long career of law splaining. So that's my 2 cents on it, and hopefully you found it interesting, entertaining. If you didn't, if you are nose guard, you can go ahead and leave a dislike, even though that doesn't do shit, or an angry comment if you so wish. But that's just my 2 cents on it. See you next time. Take it easy.